Low 30s for Metro Baton Rouge. Areas to the north and east, though, dipping down into the mid to upper 20s. Morning lows for today. You can see 30 for Metro Baton Rouge at Baton Rouge Metro Airport, 29 for Hammond, 26 in Macomb, as well as Slidell. So some frigid air was in place this morning, but we warmed up pretty nicely. But that 30-degree low temperature for Baton Rouge actually setting a new record for the date. The old record was freezing, 32 degrees exactly in 1991, well below where we should be this time of year. That should be 49 degrees for a normal low. Normal low actually drops another degree for tomorrow, so the average low is 48 for our Wednesday, and you can see not nearly as cold of a morning start, but still cool enough to maybe have those jackets handy. Low 40s to mid 40s across southeast Louisiana and southwestern Mississippi. You can see we're going to check that jacket off at least early on for the school day forecast, but probably switching over the short sleeves by the time we get towards the afternoon. That's because we're going to see a drastic warm up heading into tomorrow. Obviously, morning lows increase by about 15 degrees. Similarly for daytime highs, we're going to see daytime highs tomorrow in the mid 70s. We'll see some cloud cover, but we've got those rain chances zeroed out, so let's call it partly cloudy, but otherwise not really going to be dealing with any problems out there in terms of any weather concerns. The biggest weather story is going to be this warming trend, so let's give you a first alert to how it is going to play out. So the dip in the jet stream is where we see the cold air kind of spilling towards the south. Now that starts to exit stage east, and replacing that is going to be a ridge of high pressure. So that is where the jet stream kind of comes up and over the deep south, and so that enhances warming trends for our area, and that is what we're going to have. It also delivers dry conditions, so we're not going to be seeing any rainfall, at least in the near future. We see this dip that tries to flatten out the ridge a little bit heading into the weekend, so that may open the door to a slight chance of rain, but it's not going to do anything for our temperatures. And you can see we don't really see a significant dip in the jet stream heading towards our area until maybe the beginning or midpoint of next week. So any rain change is going to stay very limited until we get to this point, as we look maybe towards the middle of next week, as a more enhanced frontal boundary can try and work its way in. We are going to see a subtle increase in moisture levels, so by the time we do see some disturbances trying to pass by, we may squeeze out a few slight chances of rain. That may start early next week, but the conclusion of this week is expected to remain dry. That's good for your weekend plans, but obviously we could use some rain in the meantime as we continue to deal with some drought conditions here locally. Here's a look at Futurecast, and we're going to fast forward all the way to 11 o'clock on Saturday. This is as LSU is kicking off in Tiger Stadium at 11:45. You can see here with our wind streams how we've got that perpetual southerly wind flow that continues to sweep in. So we're still increasing moisture levels, but keeping things dry through Saturday. Here we are paused at 7 o'clock, kind of at the conclusion of the southern home game, and you can see quiet weather expected for our weekend. So yeah, your weekend plans are going to be just fine. Looking towards Sunday, can't rule out a stray shower or two, but you can see Futurecast keeping things very dry. Trend kind of continues into Monday. Then as we get towards Tuesday, notice this line of rain that tries to sweep in. That's going to be tied to a frontal boundary, as we showed you earlier. So yeah, we maybe have a few showers in the forecast as we get into the middle part of next week. In the meantime, though, we're talking about warming and we're talking about dry weather. Although we will have some areas of fog to contend with, I think, Thursday morning and really more so Friday and potentially Saturday morning as well. Notice daytime highs. Yeah, we're going to get into the 80s, it looks like, for Saturday and Sunday for a few neighborhoods. So definitely feeling a bit warmer once we get towards the weekend, and then we'll be dodging a few of those showers heading into the early part of next week.